Yay! Yeah! What's good, people? It's your boy, Coach Ace, coming at you with another episode in the classroom. What's good today, people? So, this will be the final episode of the intermediate series of In the Classroom. But that doesn't mean that it's over yet. So, this episode will be discussing receiving routes that are designed to cancel/counter the properties of zone coverage. Because I already discussed on a previous episode the receiving routes that are designed to cancel and negate the properties of man coverage. Well, now we're shifting to zone because they are two completely different things and they need to be addressed. So, for all you future offensive coordinators, pay attention. So, let's get it. Now, the routes that are designed to cancel the properties of zone coverage. Slants. No. Slant, stop. Is it slant? Slick curl? Yeah, slick curls. Curls, hooks. I'd say comeback routes. If they're run right, if they're run correctly, if a comeback route is run sloppily and the technique is so poor and so basic that the cornerback can figure it out when you're running, then no, then it's not good. But a comeback route with excellent technique, proper footwork, proper hand motion to make it seem like they're speeding up for a go, and then you just make a good cut, okay, yes. Another option route. At some point, I'll get to discussing option routes because that's a very interesting topic, but not right now. So, hooks, comebacks, run correctly. I always get that pronunciation wrong. Corner, I guess you can call it, or hook, curl, and option routes. So, for this particular play, or for this particular example, I will draw out just a series of routes that are designed to cancel out the properties of zone, and I'll explain why they're designed to cancel out the properties of zone. Because the explanation is very important, actually. Now, with slick curls, it's interesting. The slant makes it look like that's a man coverage route. But when you stop in an area, when you stop in a particular spot, those type of routes are designed to stop zone coverage, because the reality is zone coverage is built to defend an area on the field. And if you see these yellow and blue spots, they have left certain spots of the field vacated. That's where the receivers and the tight ends need to be running towards, the vacated areas, because that means there's no defenders there. And if the quarterback is aware enough to be able to see the vacated areas, and if the wide receivers or tight ends or running backs that are running receiving routes are aware enough to notice the vacated areas, they stop in the area, they wave their hand, yo, QB, throw me the ball. And then the quarterback needs to be able to read it, observe it quickly, boom, throw that ball there. Ooh, let's get it. Now, back to slick curl. So, start off up like a slant, go up, and then curl and stop right there. That's a slick curl. Starts off as a slant, and then it stops into a curl. Very important, because this is typically run against, like I said before, zone coverage. And as you can see, that's a vacated area. Look, I'll even draw the line for you. Vacated area. You see? Now, realistically, in my brain, I'm anticipating that is a 6-yard gap between both these defenders, because these yellow spots, that's the color that I use to indicate hook zone coverage. So in between these two hook zones is where the wide receiver running the slug curl will stop his momentum and then just show his face towards the quarterback, let him know, hey, I see you. I notice you still have the ball. I'm ready to be a receiver. I'm ready to receive the pass. And obviously, the QB has to notice it. First of all, he'll look at that lane, make sure that the defenders aren't that close. And then also, he needs to make sure he throws an accurate pass so that the wide receiver can either catch the ball and duck, because the staple of zone coverage is to be able to attack and crush the wide receiver or the tight end or the running back, because they see the ball being released and they have the leverage and the angle of pursuit to be able to have crushing hits within the play. So the quarterback needs to make sure he throws a safe ball, and he needs to make sure it's accurate also. Now, with the option route, I guess we can talk about it a little bit. With the option route, I'll say the wide receiver over here will have the option route. The option routes are designed to take advantage of man or zone. So, let's say if the defender was running man, I'd give the wide receiver an option route to go towards the corner, the dig. The dig route is another word for an in route, by the way. So I'll just say in, or just a simple hook. So you see, 3 options within the play, hence option route. So against man coverage, the wide receiver would decide to either run the dig or the corner. Against zone, the wide receiver will run the hook. Well, guess what? We're talking about zone coverage, so guess what? They're going to run that. So they're going to run that hook. Well, actually, that's a curl. They're going to run that curl right there. See where that bottom arrow is pointing downward? So that's the curl right there. So the wide receiver against this zone will be running that curl. Hence option route. 3 options. And the quarterback and the wide receiver, it's their responsibility to read the defense correctly. It's their responsibility to do so. Because if they read it incorrectly, the quarterback may make a terrible decision, a bad throw, or the wide receiver may run the wrong route. Option routes take a lot of awareness and a lot of repetition to get them right. So, that concludes this episode of In the Classroom, talking about routes that are designed to defeat/negate the properties of zone coverage. And this is, like I said before, the final episode of my intermediate level series. But that doesn't mean it's over yet. Stay tuned. Psycho Schematics.